Hello and welcome to GPJ for Mary Poppins. Today I won't be doing a question or answer thing. I'll be doing a trivia and movie mistake thing. And remember, you can ask me about any of these movie mistakes or any of these trivia things. The trivia things are completely correct, whereas the movie mistakes I've noticed throughout the film or have just generally looked them up and stuff. The reason why I'm doing the movie mistakes and trivia part of this is because of the general lack of interest that Mary Poppins has drawn. I mean, there's no scientific stuff in this, so basically, because of Disney magic, I've had to improvise and just come up with this idea. But essentially, if I can't come up with more than 4 questions or 4 things that I personally want answered about the film, that I will have to do research on, then I will just do the trivia and movie mistakes one. Most of the movie mistakes from this episode will be coming from a website called Movie Mistakes, and it's one of the places where I get most of my, well, a lot of my research from. So here we go. Okay, during the film, Jane, one of the small children, misses a tooth, and if you look closely and pause it just the right moments, if you're that neurotic, then basically you can see it reappear and disappear throughout the rest of the film. You see during the stepping time, or during the bit where lots and lots of chimney sweeps appear, you'll notice that 3 of them appear to rise out of the chimneys, out of large chimneys, just appear and they just kind of like pop up. But if you look closely, well, you don't even have to look closely. This one's really obvious. You'll notice that they're actually rising from behind the chimneys instead of actually from inside the chimneys. This is mainly due to a production mistake where they wanted 3 large chimneys big enough to hold men, but they couldn't actually get them built in time. So instead they just had a perspective gag where the chimneys are in the foreground and the people are in the background, and they kind of they rise up from behind it. You can kind of see some of their feet and or arms, and then they kind of just like fly over the set piece to make them look like they've just popped out of the chimneys. So there's one movie mistake answered for you. A tiny one during the whole nannies being blown away scene. You'll notice that that if you haven't got the special super mega editions like the 40th anniversary and after that editions of Mary Poppins, you can clearly see lots of mostly up on the ceiling, lots and lots and lots of wires and stuff that just have been poorly painted out, or at least some kind of animation blurring where they've tried to paint out the wires but just haven't been able to get all of them. I mean, that's just nitpicky though. So yeah, shame on you, internet. This one's just slightly funny, but you'll notice that when the after the rooftop scenes with all of the chimney sweeps, when they all come down into the house and still are singing "Step in Time," which is irritating as fuck, I'm sure. You'll notice that cook comes out of the kitchen and like hits one of the chimney sweeps with her frying pan. If you look closely, that frying pan is a non-stick frying pan. It's a semi-modern non-stick frying pan. They weren't invented until like the 1950s, and this movie is supposed to be set in 1910. So, what the fuck were you doing, continuity people? Honestly, just how hard was it to find a non-stick frying pan? I mean, we've got one in our kitchen. Fuck. But whatever. Oh, just a tiny mistake here. I know it's not really that, because you could always argue it's magic, and they started to reform before they even started floating up or whatever. But when Mr. Banks gets the note of the children of the requirements for the nanny that the children would like. He tears it very clearly in how many pieces? Up into eight pieces. But if you look at the fireplace, you'll notice that there are like 12, 13, 14, maybe even 15, like little tiny bits of this bit of paper. So yeah, another continuity area, I know, but you could easily chalk that up to random movie magic. The the Robin, the animatronic Robin, is an American Robin. You'll notice that there's differences that basically American Robins seem to be sleeker and larger and taller than the European or the British Robin, and because the British Robin is basically a ball of feathers, a little round ball of feathers that is like this big, sometimes even smaller. I mean, I've got one chirping outside right now, and it's really irritating. Also, they're vicious bastards, but they're still cute as fuck, so just ignore what I just said. But no, there's that thing. This is probably due to the fact that most of the viewing audience, they expected to be American. They 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 supposedly made a Robin that would seem more familiar to the viewers, and therefore more relatable and stuff. But also the animatronics for a actual English sized Robin would have been impossible to do. There's also this whole thing about lots and lots of animatronic wires being seen in various shots and stuff, but thankfully in the 40th anniversary onwards, they managed to paint out the little animatronic wires that actually made the animatronic birds work in all of the scenes. So there's that. Okay, moving on to trivia. For example, did you know that the film Mary Poppins was shot entirely indoors? There is not a single external shot of anything. It's shot all indoors. Even the streets of London were replicated via green or orange. It's mostly orange and yellow screen because of all of the other colours that Disney like to use are in the shots most of the time. There was a special screening of the film in Los Angeles when it first came out, and during this premiere screening, one of the premiere screenings, the actor Dick Van Dyke was supposed to arrive in a limousine. When he actually got into the limousine broke down only a few blocks away from where the screening was supposed to be. So he assisted in pushing the limousine, all the way back to the red carpet. So there, it kind of shows you how awesome Dick Van Dyke is in some ways. I mean, if you watch Scrubs, he's a really good character in Scrubs, by the way. This is the first film that we see Julie Andrews on screen ever. She'd done lots of previous acting work, but it was mostly for Broadway shows and on-stage appearances. And her singing talent, although was clearly shown in a lot of those things, it wasn't really completely expressed until she was in the recording studio and doing all of the ADR for this film. So good for her. She also won the Academy Award for Best Actress. And my last bit of trivia for today is that the voice of the parrot, the little parrot familiar umbrella stand thing that she's got, it's an animatronic beak that opens and closes when it talks and everything. But the voice of that parrot is actually the same guy who voiced, the same actor who is Mr. Banks. David Tomlinson. David Tomlinson. Yay! I said it right. Yeah. So that's all the trivia. A couple of vlog things I just want to mention. I know I haven't been posting videos over the past few days. That's because I've been getting on with Christmas celebrating and just haven't had the time or the inclination or even the ability to record videos on account of my laptop died, and there was just so many people in the room when I was recording the video. I know I shouldn't be embarrassed by this, but I find it very hard to record video if I know somebody can hear me talking to myself essentially, or hear or see me doing even the editing process. I don't know why, it just makes it a bit more awkward for me to focus on what I'm doing. I will be replacing the days worths of videos um, with my next thing, and you know, with the next GPJ episodes. Oh, I should pick that now. That's the special for the Incredibles, which is playing right now. So what am I doing? Oh goody! I'm doing Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. Another a not very scientific one. I'm sure I can find lots of stuff though. I'm sure there's lots of inaccuracies with the actual fish and stuff. I remember actually this. Clownfish are awkward, aren't they? They change sexes or whatever. Yeah. I've got to watch the bonus features as well. So yay! Hope you enjoyed my mystery box loot episodes. By the way, there will be more of those coming because I didn't just have one Christmas. I had like 3. Well, I had 2, and I'm gonna get another one apparently when I go visit my family. Because this was my in-laws' family, so and I love those guys. Seriously, like, thank you for all my stuff. So there will be another one, hopefully out today, and then there will be another one sometime in the new year. In 20. It's a new show. It's just one of those things. It's a it's just a thing I'm doing now to promote gift giving in general, but also to kind of show off my loot that I get from various things. There will be another one for my birthday, and there will be another one for whenever I go to SFB or the Sci-Fi Ball in Southampton in February. So keep an eye out for those. And now you can turn this off if you want because of the offensive joke, or well, you can. Now you can turn this off if you want because next is coming the offensive question poll portion, and I know that a bunch of you do turn this off whenever that shows up. So enjoy. Random offensive trivia now because somebody asked me this. The guy who killed James Foley, um, Abdel Majed Abdel Barry, was a talented rapper. He could have became the next Dizzy Rascal, according to this side. Luckily, he became an Italian. An Italian. He became an Islamic terrorist instead. That's not that offensive. I'm going to do another one. Let me just. Okay. Oh, somebody sent me this joke. Here we go. Okay, I haven't read it before, so I'm not gonna read it, pre-read it. Okay, here we go. 2 blondes were walking down the road, and the first blonde said, "Look at that dog with one eye." The other blonde covers one of her eyes and says, "Where?" Whatever. That's not that offensive. But then again, I'm not blonde. I I know a very smart blonde person, so I know one doesn't make a whole bunch, but I know. Actually, no, I know several smart blonde people. I don't know Amanda Tapping, but apparently Amanda Tapping is smart as fuck. So, what the hell is with the blonde jokes? This is just random stupid person joke, and that was sent in by Sam Rickham. Thank you, Sam Rickham. You've now been named and shamed. Ugh. At least I don't have to read tomorrow's one already. It's this Hobbit thing.